What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to serve anyone who's looking to level up from their current situation. This show is dedicated to helping raise the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts out there, those who want more out of life, those who want to do more, those who want to be more, those who love the thrill, the joy, and the connection of what these high performance engines bring into our lives. Because holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a great freaking person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Today we're going to be exploring a profound topic. We're going to be talking about the 5 regrets of the dying. Because as high performing individuals, it's crucial to not just focus on like the speed and the skills that we have on the racetrack. Like it's also essential for us to have and to live a fulfilling life off the track, like off our motorsport activities, like entire, so that we can have an entire life. Our well-being could be elevated to the max, right? And so today we're going to be discussing the 5 regrets of the dying, and how they all relate to our lives as motorsport enthusiasts. And I'll share with you actually some practical strategies so that you can avoid them in your life, right? And if you've been part of this, of our community for a while, you know that I'm all about pushing ourselves. Like I'm all about, pushing you to do more and to be more. It actually says it right in the intro, right? To show up early, to leave late. I'm always pushing you to outwork those around you, to give more than you receive, to put in more work consistently and be persistent with overachieving, because that's what's going to get you ahead in life. And I'm not saying to stop that. I want to make that very clear. But if you want to become part of the 1%ers, like those motherfuckers who do more and be more, and they're like way higher than that average Joe out there, you got to know that you got to be willing to perform to the best of your abilities all the fucking time. It really is. That's what it takes. But I also find it important that we go ahead and we evaluate our lives like at least twice a year, minimally, so that you could see that you're going, and you could just do a little course correction to see how we're doing with our overall sanity up in here. Like, because there's one thing that I've learned, like to achieve big, to fucking hit these enormous goals, balance in your life is ain't gonna be your friend. Like it really isn't, especially at the beginning. Like, all these people say, oh, balance life, balance life, balance life. And yes, we try to make it balanced. But if you're achieving big things, if you're trying to hit enormous goals, if you're trying to be a fucking top percenter, balance ain't gonna be your friend. You gotta fucking hit that unbalance and fucking work hard. Like you really do. That's what I've learned. But all work and no play really doesn't align with my vision. Like it doesn't, because what if you die tomorrow? Like, and so like I've heard of like because it's true, like what if tomorrow you don't wake up? Like every day that we wake up, it's a blessing. And I know it's such a small thing for some people to realize. Oh, that the attitude, gratitude is the new attitude, and when you wake up, say thank you for this life, because a lot of people really don't wake up every day, right? But you got to see what aligns with your vision. And I have never heard of someone saying, like when they get to their deathbed, like when they're there dying and they're like about to like see that white light, I've never heard of someone saying, man, I wish I would have worked more. I've never heard of saying, man, I wish I would have spent more time at the office. Like I never heard someone say, man, I wish I would have given my job or my career way more attention than I did, instead of directing that towards some of the things that I truly loved in my life, like my family, like my experiences, like my friendships. Like, man, I strongly believe that we're here to that we're here to live, right? I strongly believe that we work to be able to live, like not the other way around. Like live to work, nah. Like we work to be able to live. We don't live to work. And unfortunately, that's just how society paints this picture nowadays. Like you got to live to work. And the way things are going, everything is getting more expensive. It kind of seems like, man, we're all just fucking live to work just to be able to get by. But I'm here to encourage you to get out of that scarcity mindset, like, and to really just evaluate your life so that you can make sure that you're living your life to the best of your potential. Like, and maybe this type of mindset, right? That like, kind of, evaluating how things are going at least twice a year so that, you could be happy, and yeah, I'm all about achieving big things and big goals and work hard, and I'm all in it. And like, I'm all with that. Don't get me wrong. But maybe having this approach of like, you know, taking breather now and then, and really aligning yourself with what's really important to your family, your friendships. Maybe that might limit a little bit, of the amount of money that I'll be able to make in my lifetime. But you know what? Like, I ain't working this fucking hard to have regrets on my deathbed. I truly not. I'm not working this hard to lose good ties that I've developed. I'm not working this hard to push away my family. I'm not working this hard to be less of the person that I am becoming, to like have less character, to be less involved with the people who I love. Because you never really truly know when our last days is going to be here on Mother Earth. We really don't know. And that has led me, like thinking that has really led me to kind of just research what are the top 5 regrets of people who are dying. Like, and I found that there's actually a book on this very same subject. Like, I haven't read it yet, but I did dive into the summary version of it, and it left me amazed. Like, I spent some time researching this topic because I was like, man, I was like, fuck, like, man, I need to apply some of these principles more in my life, because I find myself always working so much and trying to perform and trying to achieve and trying to get into that top 1%ers. But that it's so easy to just get wrapped up in this busy go, 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 go type of mentality that we forget what's really important. And then this is what made me kind of want to do this episode, like, and share with all you, because I'm going through this. And if you're a high performer just like me, you're probably going through a similar situation, right? And so this book that I found, it was written by Bronnie Ware, and it's called The 5 Regrets of the Dying. She's an Australian best-selling author, and she's actually worked with patients who were in their last like 3 to 12 weeks of their lives. And so like, she really knows, and like, she interviewed a lot of people who were in that kind of time frame of their lifestyle, like basically people who had lived their entire lives and who were now getting ready to accept the death. Like, not people who got struck like, without knowing, and they just didn't wake up the next day, or just got, you know just abruptly died or whatever. But people who knew they were, that's it, this, my time is up, I've lived the whole life, and I'm gonna go to this place to go and just die. Like, she worked with patients like that, and that's what she started doing this research and developed, um, these 5 common principles, like, and aside from paying taxes, like and I say that because I feel like we could fucking, nowadays we could never like evade taxes. Like, those shits are fucking, you get taxed for getting taxed, it seems like. But death is one of those things that, like, we will all have to face one day. Like, it really is. And it makes me sad sometimes, because it makes me sad, but it makes me happy at the same time, because yeah, it makes you sad because you know that our time is limited. But at the same time, you could flip that on itself and say, okay, our time is limited, so let me go enjoy my passions. Let me go enjoy my family. Let me go do what I love. Let me go live a fulfilled life, so that when I get to my deathbed, I don't have these regrets, right? And so that's why I find it important to learn from the people that have lived a way farther life than I have, and see like what kind of things would do different if they could, like, expand my knowledge, expand my character, expand who I am as a person, so that I could level up, and I can make sure that when I get there, I have as little regret as possible, right? And so, what are the 5 most common regrets of the dying? The first one, is, I wish I had the courage to live a life that's true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And she mentioned, like, in this book, that this was actually the most common regret of them all, because when people realize that their life is almost over, like, we're able to look back clearly on that life and be like, fuck, like, man, it's easy to see how much dreams we've never pursued. It's easy to see like how many goals we had that we just never had the balls to go after them. And so most of those people, like, who had honored, actually most of those people, they didn't even honor half of their dreams. They didn't even go after their big goals that they wanted in life. And they had to die knowing that it was all due to the choices that they had made, or more so the choices that they didn't make, right? This is why it's important for us to pursue those dreams that we have, even those crazy fucking dreams that people say, "Oh, you're crazy for wanting to do that and pursue that." Bro, fucking go for it, because you truly never know. Like that moment when we lose our good health, like when we're not able to like do the things that we once did, it's already probably too late, right? And so I say this because good health, it brings freedom that very few actually realize that we have until we don't have it. Like I remember when I broke my leg in half. Like I was like, man, I never took for granted the walking. Remember when I broke my scapula? I never freaking really took for granted being able to shower myself or put on clothes or whatever. Like I took for granted all those activities, but it's not until that you can't do it that you truly change your perspective on it, right? This is why it's important for us to live authentically. Like do what you love. Like pursue those freaking passions that you have for motorsports and forget what others say. Like be a good fucking person and hold that bitch wide open. Like this is what we're here to do, right? And so the second one, the second regret, the second out of the five most common regrets is I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And putting in the work means that we all have to dedicate a lot of time to our career. Like you already know, I've been on this podcast for a while. You know that's what I push. Fucking do more, be more, fucking like achieve. But this was actually one of the top. This was number 2 out of the top 5 regrets. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And so these people are on their deathbeds regretting missing time with their kids, like not showing up to the big events, like they regretted not being more there for their wives and their husbands, for their partners. Like they regretted not being fully present when they were with their families because they were too busy thinking about work and like, oh, what problems they still need to solve and what issues they had. Like they regretted spending so much of their lives on the treadmill of their careers. Like they actually wished, like this is, grabbing this right info from the book or from all her studies of all these people that were on their deathbeds. These people actually wished that they would have simplified their lives so that they wouldn't have had to work so much, and then as a result miss all these valuable times with their loved ones. Like, and that's crazy perspective shift, right? Because creating more space in our life, like becoming happier and more open to new opportunities, those become when we shift our lifestyle to something that's more suited for what we want. This is why it's important for us to balance our dedication versus our burnout. Because if we work and achieve, it's easy to get burnt out. And if we're not taking some time to reflect and seeing what's going on and how you're rolling and how your sanity is, like, and will you really be doing the things that truly fulfill you? And to achieve big things, it takes fucking grind, it takes dedication, it takes going above and beyond. But man, are you willing to put these strategies into play so that you can maintain a healthy work-life balance in pursuit of your goals? Like, I don't know. It kind of really has challenged my perspective on how I view these things, right? Because I want to achieve big things. I am going to achieve big things, and I'm sure you are here. If you're listening to this, you will achieve big things too. But it's important to prioritize our mind. It's important to prioritize our bodies. It's important to prioritize like our spirits on a daily routine so that we are fulfilled, so that we are happy, so that we're still achieving these big goals, but at the same time, if tomorrow ends or if today ends, like we won't die with regrets, right? And so the third most common regret of the dying is I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. And she talked about that most people actually bottled up their feelings in order to keep peace with others. And as a result, after doing that, what happens is that they ended up settling for a mediocre life and they never became who they were truly capable of becoming. Like, in fact, many of her patients developed these illness related qualities, all related to bitterness and the resentment that they carried with them throughout their lives. And so it was crazy. When I read that, I was like, holy shit, I didn't actually know that you could get illnesses related to being bitter and to carrying resentment to your life. That's a fucking mind-opening thought right there, right? And and the thing is that we cannot control the reactions of others. That's absolutely true statement right there. However, Although people may initially react when you change the way you are by speaking honestly, in the end, the relationship is raised to a whole new and healthier level, right? Like either that or it releases that unhealthy relationship from your life altogether. So either way, it's a fucking win for you. This is why communicating effectively it's important. Like be willing to express your emotions and your needs both on and off the racetrack. Like and this is why I really enjoy doing this, because it brings my passion and drive for more sport related activities and sharing with the community, but also growing as an individual and becoming the best that we can be. And it's both all about becoming the best we can be on the track and off the track, right? And so the fourth regret of the dying, the fourth most common regret of the dying is I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And this one hit me hard too, right there, right? And she talked about how often, like, all these people would would die not realizing like the full benefits of all the friends until their dying weeks. Like, and at that point, it was almost always impossible to track them down. Like, many had become so caught up in their own lives that they had let these wonderful, amazing friendships slip by the years. Like, many had people had like this deep regret about not giving the friendships in their lives the time and effort that they truly deserved. Like, and does that sound familiar to you? Like, everyone that she mentioned, like, everyone misses their friends when they're dying. Like, and for us, working hard to achieve big things, being high achievers, high performers, fucking trying to achieve big things, like, it comes with a busy ass lifestyle. It comes with fucking always grinding. It comes with always fucking trying to do what you can to get ahead. And it's very easy to let friendships slip by. Like, I'm speaking from fucking facts here. And it's very easy to say, oh man, I'm gonna call him next week. But then what happens when next week comes around? Something else pops up, something it feels like is urgent, and then although we don't do it intentionally, we never end up getting back to them. And so she talked about when those people were facing death, like when they're laying and getting ready to die. Like, of course, they wanted to get their financial matters in order, but like it wasn't the money or the status that held the true importance to them. Like, yeah, they wanted to get their financial status in order so that their loved ones, their family would be all right. But usually, she mentioned that they were all too sick to ever manage that task, and it all came down to love and relationships at the end, because like that that is all that remains in the final weeks before you die, your love and your relationships. This is why it's important for us to dedicate time to our relationships, like to nurture our friendships, to nurture our family, and of course nurture those connections that we have within the motorsport community. And so the fifth and final most common regret of the dying is this: I wish I had let myself be happier. That one was surprising to me, because I didn't really think that a lot of people thought of that. And she said that it was a surprisingly common one too, which was pretty wild, right? And so she said that many people did not realize until the end that happiness is a choice. And when I read that, I was like, oh shit, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Like, these people lived their life stuck in the old patterns and the old habits that kept them unhappy for far too long. Like, they feared change, which that resulted in them pretending to like others and pretending that they didn't want to improve, and then as a result they were fucking unhappy. Like, and when deep down inside, like, all they wished to was just fucking laugh like a little kid, like to laugh like laugh so hard that you pee on your pants, like, and they wanted to just have that silliness in their lives again. And so what I've learned is that when you're in your deathbed, what others think of you is way fucking long away from your mind. That's not what's important. But how wonderful would it be for you to let go and smile again? Like, long before you die. Like, fuck waiting till you die to realize, oh, happiness was my choice. Why not? Why don't we realize that right now? Because happiness is a choice. Like, life is a choice. And your life is your choice. Remember that. Like, remember that success is not just about the destination, but it's also about the experience along the way. And as motorsport enthusiasts, we're no strangers to pushing ourselves to the limit. Like, that's a fucking fact right there. You know that. Fucking what we do is dangerous, what we love is dangerous, and we still go and pursue it, right? But let's not forget that living a life that aligns with our values is what really brings us true happiness. So to recap, the 5 most common regrets of the dying. Number one is that I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Number two, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Number three, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Number four, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And number five, I wish I had let myself be happier. You see, by learning from these regrets of others, of these people that were already dying, that have lived the whole life, we can grab hold of our own life steering wheel and we can point it in the direction that leaves no room for regret in our own lives. It's all about living wide open, on and off the racetrack, my friends. It really is. And so, I'm driving the freaking checkered flag deep into the ground and I'm calling out all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back and let's prove to the world that we're truthfully some badass motherfuckers. Those of you who made it to the end of the episode, I want to say that you got yourself a win, man. And I genuinely appreciate you for investing your valuable time into the Live Wide Open podcast. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others is the mission that God has tasked us with. We are driven individuals working on breaking the fucking stereotype and becoming the best that we can be. Join me on this journey while we help as many motorsport enthusiasts as possible to create the best lives that we can imagine. Man, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for, my friends? Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so that you never miss another episode. You can follow me on my Instagram. My handle is WideOpenRandy. And if you felt any connection to today's message, I sincerely ask that you please share this on your stories, because those are the actions that get more people to see and hear about this podcast. And ultimately, those are the actions that really help us spread the message. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. But till then, live your life wide open, my friends. Peace.